There are things that we experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in a corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your evidence, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox.
And welcome to GhostBox Live. Thank you, everybody. A little technical problems up front, of course. It wouldn't be one of my shows if it didn't have some kind of disaster that starts it all off. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Well, the day before. This is the time of year we should always remember our fallen friends and soldiers and armed forces who done everything they can to make this country what it is. And one of the things that I want to do tonight is see if we can reach out to any of the spirits of soldiers who have passed. You know, I know that we all are big fans of having grilling and taking advantage of the day off and whatnot, but obviously, and I don't need to say this to any of you folks, this is kind of our day to remember and really stop and think about the people who have worked so hard and given so much so that we could have the freedom of our country. And, you know, I just want to be able to do that and celebrate that with everybody. So, yeah, this is good. You're going to hear some plastic being licked in the background, and that is my cat, who seems to only do this sort of thing when I'm actually like doing a live feed or anything. So that's fantastic. Hey, buddy, come on. You're annoying me. You're annoying a lot of people at the moment. Y'all want to see him? Y'all want to see my cat real fast before we move on? Punishment for him. Oh my God, he's so big and heavy. This is my cat Linus, and he's a pain in the ass. And, you know, I'm going to put him down before he rips my face off my head. So, right? Yeah? Yep, you're about ready to kill me? Good. There we go. What sort of what sort of revenge does he have in store for me tonight? I really don't know. Couple things. First of all, that we're going to get right to it tonight. I have a couple different spirit boxes I want to try, and we'll see how well they work. See, we already have fans here, don't we, Linus? Yes, we do. All right, let's not give him a big head. I mean, he's all right. Let's just leave it at that. He's all right. It's hot in here. It's in Minnesota. It is really warm for Minnesota, I should say. And right now, Todd, how are you doing? And right now, I don't have the AC on yet because it is, you know, that transitional period that, you know, tomorrow, even though today we're nearly in the 80s, tomorrow will be like 30 degrees. So, you know, kind of at that stage where it's like, I'm not sure when to turn on the air conditioning or not. So I have a window open, the back window, so you're going to hear birds because, of course, birds start up as soon as I start this up. That's when the birds seem to come alive for some reason. But it is warm in here. I'm going to tell you that. I have a candle lit over here, as I always do, for protection. And we're going to talk a little bit about protection also tonight because I've been getting a lot from people lately about that they're doing spirit box sessions and it's not, you know, like they're feeling like there's something with them. They're feeling like that there is something that isn't quite right. I want to address that, if I may. Yeah, it sure is. I've been waiting for storms because I'm a big storm guy. I'm a big storm hunter. I was actually hoping to open up the blinds tonight so that if there's lightning coming in behind me, I thought that would have been really cool. But of course, that's not going to happen. Kelly, I'm in St. Michael, Minnesota, which is outside the Twin Cities. So and you probably know this, or maybe you don't. If you're in the Twin Cities area, it's going to be like the Twin Cities, Maple Grove, Rogers, and then St. Michael. That's where I'm located. Yeah, really interesting stuff for everyone who wants to know what's going on. Yep, me too. Actually, I'm a storm chaser. To be honest, I haven't done it for a couple years, but I actually bought a truck so that I can go out into the storms and not worry about the hail hitting it, because I'm really into recording cloud formations and looking at tornadoes. It's fun to do. And out here, last year, not so much, but out here we generally get a lot of storms also. And I'm kind of in farm country a little bit, so it's easy for me to go look at stuff and go find stuff. That being said, there hasn't been anything the last couple of years, and once again, that being said, at the same time, I want to see storms. I don't want to see like the destruction that comes with them and the people. I don't want to see anyone lose any life or anything like that. So, obviously, we'd want to see it with the right amount of people. Real fast, talking about equipment and whatnot. I have my equipment set up actually right by me tonight. And so I have to admit, this is more for dramatic effect than anything. I've mentioned to you before, for those who have paid attention to what I've been saying, and if you haven't, no big deal. Back on Halloween last year, I had an issue with a Ouija board. Something came through we didn't like, so we locked it down. That's the Ouija board right there. And I'm looking to figure out what to do with it. I'm actually talking with Bishop James Long to see what I need to do with the board at this point. The board is 100 years old. It's actually over 100 years old. And I decided, because last week's setup in my stairwell was a bit of a joke, I'm hoping maybe tonight that we have something going on here, and see what happens. So just so you know too, I have the REM pod set up. As you see, it goes off. I have the Ovilus, which only has one word that's come through so far, which is wanted. I find that very interesting, because normally you get quite a few going on at once. And then I have the flashlight that has gone on a couple times already, but I have to admit, I am not 100% sure whether or not that the flashlight was going on because of the humid air. That's the thing we talk about a lot, is the humidity in an area that you're doing something. And the humidity is a big factor when it comes to flashlights, because a lot of skeptics, when it comes to flashlight play, will tell you that it's the contraction of some of the rubber O-rings in there that will be contracting, expanding, that makes the flashlight go on and off. And I can see that, I understand that. But when you're asking it to turn off and it turns off, and you're asking it to turn back on and it turns back on, that is something that I take notice of. And I've had some amazing flashlight sessions, and we've had some of that with people. And in fact, a couple people on right now with us have been part of some of the flashlight sessions that I've done. So I do put some belief in it. I do, and that's just how it is. Let's see here. Question I wanted to answer here. How do you set up a flashlight? So this is what I do, and to me, I mean, when there is using flashlight and whatnot, it's to me that's the hardest actually to set up, because it is hair triggered, in my opinion. So we go back over here. Let me go way over to the setup that I have for this, which is literally right next to me. Now, see, there we go. So what I've done is I have the twist. I have a twist on the top of the flashlight. This is a mag light. And you twist it just where the light is going on and off. And you kind of leave it there, very hair triggered. That's where it becomes difficult to figure out if you have it right or not. And what happens is that you ask Spirit to touch it. They touch it, and it should go on. You see it's not going on. Now it goes on. I've been having a lot of trouble, I'm going to be very honest, getting it to work. See, there we go. That should be set relatively well. And we'll see if we get anything tonight. Let's just ask the question. Any spirits here tonight? Could you please turn on the flashlight for me? If you're here and you want to talk to us through this device, could you please turn it on? Now, I'm just going to say, because it didn't turn on for me, just because it didn't turn on doesn't mean it's, that they don't want to talk to me or whatever, or have it on. We'll just see. Let's just see what happens. And we'll go between the two. We'll go between, and we'll see if it turns on or not. And if you see it turn on, you're going to see probably me light up a little bit too, because as much as it looks like we're in two different parts of the planet between the two screens you're seeing right now, I am actually literally right next to it. Because if I could do this and put my hands in front of the camera, clearly we're not too far apart. But I do like a bit of a show. I'm not going to lie. I like the I like the night vision. I like the ability to have a couple cameras going. So I think if you have it set up correctly, and I'm not saying that I have it set up correctly, but I think if you have it set up correctly, it should be relatively easy for them to manipulate. And I've certainly been in some great flashlight sessions before. This probably will not be one of them, but we'll see what happens, right? Thank you very much. It'd even be cooler if they say it. Yeah, we can certainly do so. We can certainly do that also. Derek, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'm just going through things real fast. Yep, and no offense, because I don't mean to make it sound like this. A lot of people have suggestions on how to do it, but I'm going to go with the demonologist and figure out what they are doing, because they've been doing it for so long, and kind of go with what they suggest I do with it. Not to say your suggestion doesn't work, but I've been hearing a lot of it, and I just want to make sure that, because I think I have one shot to get it right. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I do believe it's true when you have, when it's stormy out, even when it's raining out, because rain, and especially obviously lightning, is all about electricity, right? It's creating electricity. Electricity's in the air. It should be a better conduit for spirits to communicate. Rain is also an area of high energy. So you often hear about hauntings taking place in areas that are around lakes and rivers. And, I got someone this week who suggested I go up north with them in Minnesota, and we do some spirit box work up there, or just paranormal work up there, and see what we can get. So, all that stuff is very important, Let's see. Why don't we do this? I have a couple different spirit boxes I want to use tonight. Somebody have been talking a lot lately about, this is called the SB11. And the SB11 is a spirit box that came out mass-produced, just like the SB7. These are made by the same folks. And what we have here is this is basically two spirit boxes in one. So you could have them going very much at the same time. And, hopefully you pick up, you're creating energy. Yeah, I'll take you up on that, Christine. That sounds good. I mean, that's always looking for places to do, to do research, right? To figure out who's around and who will talk with us, obviously. With this, the idea is to kind of double the chances of getting spirits. I believe that when you're creating this sweep of going through radio frequencies, that you're creating energy, and that's what helps the spirits to come and talk with us. And the idea here is that that's what happens. I'm not 100% sure if that's what happens here. To be very honest, I've not had a lot of luck with the SB11, but I'm very interested in trying it. We tried the Radio Shack, or sorry, the San Gene hack last week, and that was really interesting. I thought that played out very well. So let's see if we could get something from this for a little bit tonight. once again, for me, once again, my focus is a little bit on soldiers tonight, people who have been in the service. If we're not getting anyone, I'm going to also switch boxes if we're not getting anyone, but also we'll also switch to loved ones and whatnot also. So that's pretty cool. Oh, well, thanks, Dan. That's very kind of you. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to take part in that. If you'd be kind enough to have me, that'd be a lot of fun. So why don't we do this? First of all, I want to talk a little bit about protecting yourself. I've ran into this today a little bit. I've had some people reach out to me too about when they're doing spirit box sessions that stuff happens afterwards, whether it be dreams, whether it be things that are not really that explainable. And I just want to really, really try to hit home to everybody. First of all, if you want to do a spirit box session in your house, you want to do it by a river, you want to do it in a cemetery, as far as I'm concerned, first of all, you could do it wherever you want. You know, I've heard people say, you shouldn't do this here, you shouldn't do that there. Yes, possibly, but it's none of my business to tell anybody where to do their spirit box sessions. Where it does become people's business is it's kind of like do it at your own risk. You've got to be prepared for what's going to happen if you're not preparing yourself, right? So one of the things that I find that you really need to do is you need to set your intention. And what that means is when we do these every week, you know, I always say I would like to speak with spirits who are basically what we call love and above. You know, we don't want any low level. We don't want any angry spirits talking to us. We don't want anything that is demonic. We don't want anything that is nasty. So, you know, you really got to be careful doing this, because you got to be careful that nothing is hanging on to you. And so somebody has asked here, Max has asked, are spirit boxes safe? Will things get attached to me? If you're not careful, they can. Absolutely. That's why at the end of the session, every time I do one of these, I tell everyone to make sure that you tell the spirits that you cannot, the session is done, they cannot follow you. I say that here. I've had attachments before. I'm sure a number of you on here have had attachments before. And you just really have to be careful, because it is very dangerous if you're not careful, if you're not asking who it is. Mary is absolutely right. You got to put protection around you, and we'll do that in a second. Amanda's asking, how can you get a spirit box? There's a lot of places you can go to get spirit boxes. Depends what kind of spirit box you want. For those who are interested, you know, I always actually recommend that you do a mass-produced one. Other people will tell you the only way to start off is by getting a hacked spirit box, one that has that, you know, someone, you know, went into an old radio and was able to remove some circuitry or do the bypass, get that done. I always say just start with one of these, as far as I'm concerned, and go from there and see if this works, and then graduate up. You can get these from Amazon, of all places. You can get them from GhostStop. You can get them from eBay. There's a lot of different deals going on with them. You can get them from all sorts of different places. You know, just you know, figure it out. But I would highly recommend doing this SB7 first. This is not only is this the box I started with, it is literally the box I started with. I always put like little tape to denote it's mine. And literally the very first spirit box session I ever did was with this box, and I love it. And I would highly recommend, if you're going to do that, get an external speaker, because it's hard to understand what's always being said. It's still hard to understand, but it's a little bit more amplified. And they cost roughly about anywhere between, I think, $60 to $90, depending if you're getting a speaker with maybe $100. You know, I would definitely do it. So I would say best one to recommend for a beginner, I would say the SB7. Others will disagree. Others will have a lot of reasons. It's kind of a debated subject here, but I do not recommend people spending $300-400 on spirit boxes, you know, that you just want to be able to see if you connect with them. I feel you connect with your equipment. That's basically what I've always thought about any equipment you use. You connect with it. As much as, you know, a pendulum will connect with you, it chooses you, you don't choose the pendulum. I believe that you connect even with electronics to play it and have it work the way you want it to. If someone asks for it, I have. Probably I've only done it really once because a friend of mine at work was going to stay at the Stanley Hotel and he wanted to try it out. And he took it with him to Stanley, and he took an Ovilus of mine. And it was really funny because around 3 in the morning, he had a picture of all the stuff that the Ovilus was saying, and the stuff was coming through the spirit box. And quite frankly, it was frightening. And I don't remember exactly what was being said, but it was very dark, very nasty. And I only laugh because I don't think it's spirits that were really that dark or that nasty. I think they knew that he was a little frightened and that they were playing with him. And he was at the Stanley Hotel. So he kind of was like, what the F is this? What is happening? Can you help me, please? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, you know, sorry. Enjoy. I got a couple from Amazon. The problem with the SB7 now is that there's a new version. This is the old version. I've been finding the old versions and collecting them. There's a new version that I don't like the sweep nearly as much. New being a couple years old. You know, Dan, that's the next thing I was going to bring up is one of these episodes, I'm going to devote the episode to using apps. I think some apps are interesting. I think some apps are BS. You know, I think there's one in particular I can't think of the name of off the top of my head that I've used for a very long time, and I need to update it. But some of the stuff in there is absolutely legit. You know, like people come into a room in an investigation and their name is said through the app, you know, and it's not an echo. It's not picking up what's being said in the room because no one said their name. So I find that stuff to be very, very, very interesting. Yes, we need to do the S-Box also in one of these things. The S-Box is a device that mirrors more of a hacked radio in terms of the sweep, and that was, I believe, created by Ghost Stop. I'm GhostBox. Not that you can really copyright that name, that word. Let's see. What else do we have here before we get back? EchoVox, very much so. It's also very very touchy, isn't it? It's something that you got to be. And by the way, the stuff moving in the background is a cat. It's not spirit related at all. Let's see, what else do we got here? I was gone before. Did I disappear? Because I also do this too, with nothing happening over here so far. So let's get to it. Let's start talking to spirits, see what we come up with. I haven't used this SB11 in a long time. Let's do it this way. Let's start up. Always have your device to record. This is my Zoom test, okay? Spirit Box session, May 24th. It is 9:26. Possibly, but at the same time, I think anytime they're trying to be remembered, that is always a plus. So why don't we do this? For those who want to do protection, you start it off this way. As someone mentioned a little bit up thread, is that it's a white light. That's what how many of us see it as. Some of us also see it as like chain link protection, like back in medieval times. And so I would say that it all starts at your heart, and that you have this, you think of this little white light, circle of white light. You think about everyone who loves you, everyone that you protect, everything that you believe, and positive. Think of your positivity. Think of what you want to achieve tonight. We want to talk to spirits who served in combat, who served in wars. We want to let them know that they're not forgotten, that they're loved, that we appreciate what they did, and that just have that white light grow. Have it grow around you. Have it embody you. Have it be, if you think of it, just it's a perfect outline of you. And it just is completely around you. And it just grows. And if there's people with you that you love that are watching this, or that anything that helps, it just kind of grows out there, and it just envelops other people. It's positivity. This is positivity we're talking about. So it's just with you. If maybe you can, maybe you can't. I feel a tingling around me. I feel good. I feel like that we are ready to talk to spirits. I hope that you are too. Just keep that with you. Keep that with you. Keep the good intentions with you, because that's what's most important. Before we start, I would love to. I would absolutely love you, but I don't love you. Sorry. My goodness. Love to. I haven't even been drinking. Let's see. Growl's demonic in nature. I mean, if I hear a growl, it's gonna get my attention. That's for sure. It's either a demon or Linus, one of the two. You always want to be careful. Let's see. Are you saying that you're feeling warm after doing that? Because that's also a good sign. Spirits, I have in my hand a device that we believe can speak with you. I am going to do not the fastest. It's faster than, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually faster than an SB7 spirit box in terms of its sweep rate. We're going to go 2 banks. One, I think we're going to do FM for both of them. And one's going to go sweeping forward on the FM dial. The other's going to be sweeping backwards. Are we going to get something from it? That's what we're hoping for. We're going to try it out and see. There's going to be a lot of beeping that's going to happen here. Let's see if we can keep the beeping down. And I don't know if I plugged this in properly to the speaker. Clearly not. There we go. I'm going to adjust my sweep rate. On both of them to be 200. Let's see. And this thing is just a weirdo. I think this is such a weird, odd little machine. It has like a light. Why? I don't know. Like I'm a cyborg, right? All right, let's do this. Spirits, we'd love to talk to you. Let's do this. I'm going through 2 sides, one going forward, one going backwards. First of all, someone said, can you hear that? And then it says, I can't. Can you hear that? I can. Can you hear me? I can. Ooh. Where have you been my whole life? Now that annoying sound is a temperature control on it. I don't know if I could turn this off. I think I just did. Can I get a name of who's with us, please? Not very loud. Is that better? Okay. Good. Thanks, Denise. Thanks. thanks for pointing out, when it's not loud and whatnot. I do appreciate that because I want you all to hear this, obviously. I'll move this over. Could I get a name of any spirits that are in here, please? Now we were getting some people speaking. Are you still here? You get much more radio in here than the other. I'm at a slower sleep rate than I normally would go. I'm switching the sleep rate around. Okay, do we have any soldiers here? I'm looking for anyone who's... There's either someone who said Tom Brady or I'm brave. One of the two. I think it was Tom Brady, though, to be honest. Anybody who had seen combat? Or seen any of the wars? Feel free to have the flashlight go off if you want to communicate that way, or put a word through. Or have the REM pod go off. All you need to do, this is me, get over there and make it go off, okay? I'd like to see if we can connect with anybody who fought in the Civil War, the war between the states. Looking to see anybody who has had who had fought between the North and the South. I don't care which side you're on. So we had some interaction at the start. I don't know if you heard. I mean, there was actually a slight like back and forth between. It sounded like between two spirits at the very start. Got something. Got a high. Got to stop. Are you not happy that I'm connecting, trying to connect with you? We want to first of all say that for those who know and for those who don't know, we are a day away from Memorial Day. And Memorial Day is to recognize our fallen soldiers and all soldiers who have fought in wars. Okay? So what I'm saying is that you are, we just want to remember you. We just want to honor you, okay? What about World War II? Anybody fight over and been a part of World War II? Even if you made it out of World War II? It might, Amanda. It might. If I feel like this is going nowhere, I will switch boxes. I just want to kind of give this a chance. It started up really good. Got something there. I'm hearing a couple different names. Don, you've heard Richard. Lisa heard Emmett, and I thought I heard Emmett also. Thought I heard my name, and we all know what I think about when I hear my name. Forgive the self-indulgence, okay? Is someone trying to get a hold of me? You can make something over there go off, or you can say so over here. If you're trying to get hold of me, could you say yes, please? Sound like a yeah? I laugh because you never know. Unless it's super clear, and sometimes it is, you just never know. Can I get the name of who's trying to get a hold of me, please? So we're getting people who are yes, thank you. But then when I'm asking who's trying to get a hold of me, no one says so. I'm having a bit of a problem in the sense that I am intuitive. And normally when I can feel the activity and energy, I can get spirit responses. I'm not feeling a whole lot in here. I am looking for, we are really far behind here. We're just still trying to establish any kind of communication. We're not getting a whole lot in here tonight. Any spirit in this area. Okay, start talking to us, okay? Just recently, did you just hear Emmett, or did you hear it before? Like when Lisa heard it? Hello. See, that sounds like Chad to me. We're getting these names. Is it the name of you, or the people that you are hoping to talk to? Carrie? Also, a reminder to spirits, feel free to turn on the flashlight. Is the flashlight even working? Can you turn off the flashlight, please? I turned on the flashlight. Okay, thank you. Can you turn the flashlight back on for us, please? I turned it on. It turned off by itself. Can you please turn the flashlight back on? Do you want to communicate with us? Or go and touch that antenna, okay? Yeah, it was pretty cool. It'd be even cooler if it went back on. The last really good flashlight session I had was at the Calumet in April. Lisa, I think you were there, or at least you were in one of those sessions. We had a really good flashlight session. Yeah, I feel like I hear Emmett a couple times. Welcome, Scott. Thank you for joining me. As you can hear me talking over the spirits. Thought I saw a wisp of something over there. I'd see that on occasion. I know I sound like an absolute weirdo when I say that, because you can't see it. Oh, hello. Welcome back. Oh. All right, I would say that might be more of a humidity thing, the way that it's going. Can you turn the flashlight back on for us, please? No. No. Okay. Okay, that's very clear and very honest and blunt. Listen, I'm not asking to turn it on and off as a parlor trick. It's a way for us to communicate, okay? And I'd really like to be able to communicate with you. And it doesn't have to be through this box that I'm holding up, okay? What, the flashlight would freak you out? That's nothing. That's nothing compared to what I've seen and felt taking me over in my own house. It's very possible. All right. Can you turn it on for me all the way? I know there's someone who doesn't want to turn it on, but can another spirit please, just to show everybody, it's me, I get it, just to show everybody that we do have intelligent communication going on here. All right. So here's the thing that interests me also, is that we do not have anything coming through the obelisk. We only have one word so far coming through, and that is unique in itself. All right, can you turn it off, please? Thank you. I'm really not well lit, am I? All right. You guys are coming through so quickly, I'm not getting to the right comments. I believe anything is possible, Amanda. Who knows? The word is wanted. That's the word on the obelisk. That came through before I started the session. I just turned it on, and normally it's like 5 or 6 words that come through at once, and it's just been the one so far. So, yes, I believe so. That's why I believe you send your intention. When I say that you should set your intention, you set it so that we can all benefit from it. Oh, you just turned on. Oh, you turned back off. Did you want to speak to somebody? I'm speaking to spirits. Do you want to speak to someone who is listening in right now? You had it on. You were on before, and you know what? There we go. Thank you. Can you turn it on again, please? Thank you. I appreciate it. If I know you, can you turn it off, please? Thank you. Okay. Are you a relative of mine? If you're a relative of mine, can you turn the light back on for me, please? Are you one of my cats who have passed? I got a story about that when I'm done here. If you're one of my cats, can you touch the light, please? Are you somebody who I know, but we're not related? If you are, can you turn the light back on for me, please? Spirit box says it is. I feel like I keep hearing my name, which I'm sorry, folks. I hate it when people do this. Like, hey, is it my name only that's coming through? Can you say your name? If you're trying to get a hold of me, just so I know who you are, can you say your name, please? I'm getting a lot of names. Huh. I wonder. Like that is what you're saying. I know, and it's on automatic focus. It shouldn't be. Or Beverly. But I thought I heard either Emily or Beverly. We're all hearing stuff, aren't we? We're all hearing it. The spirit box is getting more. It's becoming more happening. If I could say a sentence that makes sense. Also, I swear, when you're live in front of people, it's amazing how words don't really come out the way you want it to. As I said, I told somebody tonight, I love them. That's not really what I wanted to say. John, what up? But you're getting a lot more words coming through, aren't we? Is there a David here? Is that a yeah? David, if you want to talk to us, could you try to get us more energy so that you can be clearer for us? Because I'm getting people who are saying that you're coming through. Very much so. This place is jumping now. If there's an Emmett here, can you turn the flashlight on for me, please? If you're related to Don in any way, can you tell us so, please, in some way? If you're Don's Grandpa Richard, because we're getting people coming through, but if you're Grandpa Richard, can you like turn on the light for us, or can you say so through the device? Hey Janice, welcome. Hey Emmett, we keep thinking your name's coming up. There's something we can help you with. You want to just say hello? Rachel, are you meaning why does it just only say wanted on the box that you're seeing in front of you right now? Basically, that's the only word that's come through tonight. And the thing is, if you watch the paranormal shows, every time a word comes through and they cut to it on the camera, you just see one word on there. That's not how it works. It scrolls. The words line up from top to bottom. I'm surprised you all heard anything. Whoa, hello. Whoa, goodness. Can you shut that out for me, please? Thank you very much. Are you Emmett? Yeah? Emmett, do you need some help? What would you like us to do for you? Could you turn off the light if you want us to cross you over, please? Or say crossover? I thought I heard a yes. It was, wasn't it? All right, can you please shut off the lights for me? Okay, Emmett. Why don't we cross you over? Did I just hear Mary? Why don't we cross you over, okay? Where you'll be safe, okay, Emmett? This is where I ask everyone who is watching to send positive energy this way, as we're going to help Emmett and anyone else who wants to. Anybody else who wants to. Yep. I thought you actually said cross. We're gonna cross you over right now. I can already feel it. I don't know how you guys can feel. I'm feeling extremely tingly at the moment. Okay. I need Emmett and anyone else who needs to be crossed over. I need you to focus, just like we're focusing right now. If you look ahead of you, there's going to be like a sliver that opens up, and that's going to be a light. And that light is going to grow. It's a sliver right now, and it's like a doorway. It's opening up, okay? Are you following me? And what's going to happen is that you need to just literally go to that light. It's our energy that's going to help you move that direction, our positivity that's going to help you move that without fear of any sort of repercussion that's what you've done in your life. But you need to go toward that light. On the other side of it will be somebody there that is going to be able to take you from that moment on and help you. They're going to complete your journey. We are here to help you to get there, to that light. It's no longer a sliver, right? You do see it, right? No? What? Light. We got that right. It is no different than this. You are seeing it, and you need to go to it. Go to that light that you're seeing. Okay? Have you done it? Oh, God, something just talked to me right over here. I don't know if it's this that's just throwing it. I just heard someone talk to me over here. Holy. Yeah, I thought I heard done it too. Do you guys feel lighter? Do you feel, I mean, folks out there watching me, do you feel lighter now? Do you feel like the air has kind of gotten a little bit lighter?
Hard.
You've made it all right? I have. Emmett, are you okay now? It is possible, Julie, that, I mean, it's just spirits coming through. Spirits are just hanging out. But that light is still open for anyone who wants to cross it. Okay? Don't be afraid to make that crossover. Don't feel like that what you think you might be judged for is going to stop you. Just do it. Just go over. You're going to have loved ones waiting for you. Possibly. I did hear Mary. But then again, we also have Mary here too. Sound like greetings. Sound like someone just said greetings. Homer, if you're here, could you say hi to Mary? Yeah, I definitely heard that too. Greetings. Very fast. Good ear, Lisa. Done it? Like a big voice. Howdy. Howdy. Hi. Are you all starting to realize this is a safe place to come and talk? And that we just want to hear you talk. Want to hear your voice, that's all. Who's that? Who's that? Well, if you're talking about me, my name is Greg. We're not talking, they're not talking. He just said daughter. We're going to ask Homer one more time if you could say hello to Mary. Thank you, Todd. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry. What are you sorry for? Yeah, we definitely all heard that. That's good. I didn't hear Zappa. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just like we're trying to hear from Homer, and it doesn't mean he didn't communicate. We just didn't hear it. Actually, it sounded like Homer. It really did, actually, now that I think about it. Can you turn off that flashlight for me, please? Or is it kind of stuck on now? Now, okay, that's a really good example right here. I don't know if you all heard it, but the spirit box just said quarantine. I have a feeling that's from the radio and not from a spirit. That's too like up-to-date sort of information to be said. It's possible, but it's easy for me to discount that, okay? Now, Spirit, if you said quarantine, feel free to say it again, and I will retract what I said. Any spirits have anything they want to say to me before I turn this off? If you're talking about the quarantine thing, I agree. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to shut this off right now. I got a couple things I want to say before I let you all go, but spirits, thank you. It's turned into a very interesting evening, and really appreciate you talking with us, okay? So I'm going to shut this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. A couple things. Let's see here. Kimberly, are you saying it doesn't necessarily mean that it's from the radio if the word quarantine because it's skipping through the frequencies? Yes, I would agree with that also. It's just so tough when it's so it's so pertinent. It's a word that everyone is saying right now all across the country that it's really tough for me to accept it as evidence myself. But, you know, part of the problem, too, is that I really want to make sure that because you're not here with me, that I'm giving you the best glimpse of what I'm doing. You know, I'm giving you the best that I can so that it's accurate as possible. So I'm going to discount stuff just because I don't want it to come across as something that as that could be easily, you know, debunked or whatever, if that made any sense whatsoever. So last week when I did this, I had my K2 meter actually to my right, and I had forgotten completely that I had it there, and I shut off the session, I shut off the live feed, and as soon as I shut it off, it actually started going off, which, you know, doesn't mean anything to you folks because you didn't see it, and you wouldn't have been able to see it anyway because it was off camera anyway. But as I was starting to kind of talk with it, I mean, I'd ask questions that it would light up to me, whatever. Finally, I asked if it was my cat AJ who had passed away. I had to put her down in September, and it went off. And this is the second time that she has come through the K2. But I think she comes to me in a lot of other different ways because I could feel like her rubbing against my legs sometimes. It's not lying. It's nowhere to be seen, you know, and I could, you know, there's just a lot of things. And, you know, the idea that our pets do come back is something that is very real, I believe. And I think there's a lot of you on here who I've spoken to who we've already had conversations about. If you had this situation, then, you know, never really talked about it, think about it. That's very much the case that these animals, why are they going to leave us? Because they were happy with us in most cases. I mean, you know, I gave her a good life. She gave me her best life. And why would she want to leave? Just like I don't think, you know, not my first cat, but my first cat in here being in this house 15 years ago, Dave, he hasn't left either. So very interesting stuff. Very, very nice. Okay, one last time over here. Folks, one more time for the REM pod. If you want to have that go off, any spirits who are still around here, please, you know, light up for us so that we could know that you're here. Or if you want another word to come through the obelisk or turn off the flashlight, I'm going to touch it. This is me. That's what you want, though, for the question asked earlier, when setting up the flashlight. You want to be able to kind of touch it So it goes on and off. When you do so, that means that it should be able to get any sort of touch to get it to work. That's pretty cool. I kept thinking I heard Dave. When I was upstairs, I'd hear him downstairs eating. Who knows? But they certainly are. I did see Dave down here about 2 months after he died. I actually saw him. And then I started to smell incense as it happened. It was actually a pretty freaky night I saw him. It freaked out my other cat, AJ, who was still alive. And then I went up to my room and I started to smell incense. And which is meant to be, when you smell that on a spiritual level, when you smell that and no one's burning it, what that means is that you are being calmed. You are that someone is watching over you. Somebody is looking out for you. Sometimes it might freak you out a little bit though, because you're not expecting it. But if you're around somewhere and you smell like sweet flowers smell, roses, if you smell incense, if you smell anything that's really good and very spiritual, someone's looking out for you. Someone is trying to help you. And just, that's a gift. So just accept it. Like this week, I found a black feather, right? Actually stuff blew off my stairwell outside and it all like landed in this area that this black feather was, which I thought was very interesting. And the black feather is telling me that it's protecting me during my spiritual awakening. It's protecting me against negative energies. So that is something that, you be on the lookout for those. Be on the lookout for your gifts that are out in front of you. That also means, change, whether it's pennies or quarters or nickels. Think about who might have done this for you, who might have put this in front of you. All that stuff is stuff that you can really kind of, those are ways that you connect with people who have passed. So just kind of think about that stuff. And Bradford, someone's trying to protect you, clearly, right? I mean, that's kind of what it kind of comes down to, is that, that's a good smell. It's not rotten eggs. It's not something dark. I know this, and I can't think of it off the top of my mind. Just look it up on Google. Type in white feather meaning, and it will definitely help you. But it's good to know when you find a feather, look it up to see what it means. It's always important. And yes, totally, we're on the same page there. Julie, late husband moves, throws the laundry detergent when he wants to be remembered on our anniversary, sets all the fire alarms at 1:30 a.m., which was the time which we last talked 6 years ago. No reason for alarms to go off. Well, Julie, that sounds like frustrating sometimes if it's 1:30 in the morning, but at the same time, it's comforting, isn't it? How nice of you to have that gift. I would do anything for my parents to do talk to me in those ways. Oh, that's so nice, Rachel. So we're going to be jumping off here in a second, but let's see. Want to actually get to this one. Amanda, what do you do to protect yourself from negative energy on a daily basis? It's always down to intention, and that you just, be grateful what's around you. Be grateful for, I heard something move over there. I'm always hearing stuff move here. I really am. Just be grateful for everything. Set the intention. Set the intention for what you want out of spirits, and just keep negativity out of it. There isn't a secret to it. Just positivity will do that. Then if it's coming out of nowhere, it's either natural gas or something. Just be aware. Be aware of what you're smelling. Be aware of what you're feeling. Be aware of what your body's feeling all the time, because it's always telling you what's going on. My body right now, I don't know about you folks, I'm still tingling. from everything. I'm tingling from this session. I'm tingling from that crossover, which is pretty intense. So this is where we all have to make sure, for those who are still with me, make sure that you're telling the spirits that this session's over. You are not allowed to follow me. You are not allowed to follow anyone in my house or attach yourselves. Thank you for talking with us. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it, but this is the session is over. And when we're ready to communicate with you again, we will do so. But you are not allowed to take my energy. You're not allowed to interact with me anymore. If you are a spirit that is related to me and want to be in my life and talk to me, that's different. But as far as spirit energy that I am not familiar with, this is not. This is over. Okay, what do y'all think of that? Y'all have a good time tonight? We started off ridiculously slow, but I think that things got better in terms of communication, and you all made it a massive point to help and identify stuff. And I love working with all of you. This, you know, I might be leading the session, but we're doing this together. So I'll be back next week. We'll talk more spirits. We'll see who comes through. And, you know, we'll just keep communication going. This is GhostBox Live. I appreciate the conversation as always, and I will talk to you next week. Take care, everyone. Happy Memorial Day, and good night.